Get anything you like, long as you are right, and me are right. Me know you man, that's why I'm alive.
Your voice, your music.
Whether me in a skirt or jeans or short shorts, head race when me walk past. Me feel the eyes, believe the eye. Me love the light, me do it spice.
Baby, pana, it's how you like you all up. I got you all up, baby, pana. Anywhere that you go, I can follow you to go, baby. New level.
You're listening to WGHC 98.3 FM.
New level, new level. New level, new level. New level, new level. I them turn Tony in a rebel. Pam pam banana pam panam panana pam pam banana pam panam pam 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 banana pam panam panana pam pam banana pam panam pam.
Your voice, your music, your station. WGHC 98.3 FM.
Hododui Nyasalau and Yamaushi Love Mocho WGSC 98.3 FM. Your voice, your music, your station. Me cho Hododui show Badenvinami. Me Glioto Ganami. Me no so strong Kogivenami. Enya Jojo. Me Vogboto. Afia Micho. Afia mi nakla. Afia Medrofia. E Vogboto Minamia with the canon. A Hododui Namilo.
Miato Turulao, and your talk be Hododui to Amalajama. Ajoda Shajora. Me Jamanoga Gani. Mimianko Sagala Hododui show Ajila WGHC 98.3 FM. Mia kunyoma, mia ko havivio ve, mia ko havivio nami, na mia kunwomalo.
Yo, sebale ke mianto misena, togbe Hododui nkwe mise. Miao hai miao nye makamachio nkonye to SB Don. Bena miga cho Hododui show agbone nami. Be efien ganyi mia ke mi godoga le WGAC. Bena mia a nami mia biaha. Mia folon ha nami. Akonu khla menyo va nami. Mia nabe ejijo ajo amrese le mauta mia we wadego. A Hododui nami lo.
Aho. Loloto, hotulao, hoto, afoto, afojikpolao, migadujena akona vermio. Enya nguya, eto jankplo kunya. Enya made shikabe ya floho, alo ya haya hoa. Enya made shikabe ya dega ohotutu, ble afojikpokpo ma. Alo ameshikabe ya gbuboye fafa atua. Afa alo ohotunya kawe fudam ye hala chia kota nao. Na devovo gado kwi ble avinya noviwo tutu miafa dachiwo elabena Green Safe Real Estate and Consult wawenya do wofa gbanto shike akpo miafa fe plo honyawo gbo le to fafame don kujibe wo dowo bro wo shichachawo wo yi akpade echonvio plo asrafo onwu la fe eyata miko miafo mofongu mial yo Number 773-403-5073. Allo 312-4771-766. Eye mia biaba leke mia tiakpere mia ngukple mia po honyawo. Nya sela kplo nukpolao. Na mie yo ha mia bia nucho alesi mia du America dollar alofa de ka. Ponunana kple LED akadi le kpakpame. Miafo do wo le Chicago, Illinois, USA. Gaka na aba mejiba yo gafla anyigba. Alo yo daga oho gbogbo tutu malafa ha. Novi mi wo dokpla ashichala adoduawe. Kanya Green Safe Real Estate and Consult. Bana miafo honya wonyawo magava adefu. Nyasalau baba magbrona migbabade. Miga tuwo na ayana lo. Eye miga wodo na aha na duo. Eyata miyo Green Safe Real Estate and Consult la 773-403-5073. Allo 312-477-1766. Akpanamilo. Ahododu Nyasela Nyamaushi Love Mocho WDAC 98.3 FM, your voice, your music, your station. Mi cho Hododu show Badenvinami, mi Glioto Ganami, mi no so strong Kogivenami, Enya Jojo, mi Vogboto, Afia Micho, Afia mi Nakla, Afia Medrofia, E Vogboto Minamia with the Canonio, Ahododu Namilo.
Miato Turulao, and your talk be Horodun to Amalajama. Ajoda Shajora, mi Jamanoga, Gani, Mimianko Sagala, Hododio Show Agila, WGHC 98.3 FM. Mia Kunyoma, Miako Havivio, Miako Havivio Nami, Namia Kunwomalo.
Yo, Sebaleke Mianto Misena, a Togbe. Horodui nkwema mise miao hai miao wenye makamachio nkonyito SB Don bena miga cho Horodui show agbone nami be efien ganyi mia keme godoga le WGAC bena mia nami mia biaha mia folon ha nami akonu khwamenye ova nami mia nabe ejijo ajo amrese le mauta mia we wadego Ahorodui nami lo
aho. Ahododu Namilo.
De l'est à l'ouest, du nord au sud, nous sommes les enfants d'une même nation. Quelle que soit ton appartenance politique, ne pense jamais à la division. Méfions-nous de ces politiciens qui font la pluie et le beau temps et qui ont pour ambition personnelle de nous diviser et régner. Midole lambanyo, tromba diabetika, fifia mia yikunyo wa. Kunyo, midole lambanyo, tromba diabetika, fifia mia yikunyo uma. Kunyo, midole lambanyo, tromba diabetika, fifia mia yikunyo wa. Kunyo, midole lambanyo, tromba diabetika, fifia mia yikunyo uma. Kunyo. Manhouz
Ahododu Namilo.
Il y a des gens qui nous ont trompés, qui ne seront jamais corrompus, mais simplement une enveloppe de blé les ont fait changer de camp. Je dis, il y a des gens qui nous ont trompés, qui ne seront jamais corrompus, mais simplement une enveloppe de blé les ont fait changer de camp. Mito le lavagnon, trova diabetica, bifia mia yikunyo wa, novi kunyo. Mito le lavagnon, trova diabetica, bifia mia yikunyo uma. Kunyo, mito le lavagnon, trova diabetica, bifia mia yikunyo wa. Kunyo, mito le lavagnon, trova diabetica, bifia mia yikunyo uma. Kunyo. Tous ceux qui ont perdu l'espoir dans ces luttes pour la liberté n'ont qu'à savoir que la nuit est très longue, mais Choco Choco le coq chantera. Il y a des mains qui nous ont trompés, qui ne seront jamais corrompus. En fin de compte, on a vraiment tout compris, que c'est leur vente qui les intéresse.
This is WGHC 98.3 FM.
vi kunyo mi jole lavanyo trova diabetica fifia mia yi kunyo ma kunyo mi jole lavanyo trova diabetica fifia mia yi kunyo wa non vi kunyo mi jole lavanyo trova diabetica fifia mia yi kunyo ma kunyo la prospect.
Son coup de viande de main, au fond, mi fond la main, mi fond, mi fond de mi fond la main, mi fond de mi fond That's no coup de viande, au fond, les camis font de ma, d'abord pas me tower, that's no coup de viande, au fond, ah, mi font la main, mi font de mi font la main, mi font la main, ah, mi font la main, mi font la main, mi font la ah, mi font la main, mi font
ago na menya salao miato abawo miefon mawuta makarajiba miafa lamo olisasie agbanu agake egba ganya joda akplagba gagba eye atotoga abadanye fafati de chiene eya tamiko mopunu na miayo miasronwo miafa hiavio miavaliawo miajilawo miaviwo pakpla miafa kato miaglo nobody a Hododui show agabado e mila WGAC 98.3 FM miacho kaka Chicago ka Illinois USA nyasala kula nukpola enye maushi love ya malafia kula togbi Hododui kula SB Don miga kashimo e miga troga bakbi don't touch that dial.
Na no vi kweto mafa na no vi kweti ate ma wonye gronya mai ha shi no ba de chi gbon ba na koseto ma wonya gronya re bibla ha de nya mafia fada o de gbapa magale no vi o de fumu fulele ma koseto magado dogbana no vi wa tutugba afina ba kokko kwamunchi na ma wona ira we adogbane afi gbona kokko kwamunchi ami kle no de kabi mi le fumae dogbane na dogbane dogbane afi gbona kokko kwamunchi mi kle to de kabi mi le fumae dogbane na dogbane dogbane afi gbona kokko kwamunchi to de ka no de kabi mi le fumae dogbane na dogbane dogbane afi gbona kokko kwamunchi da shi jire wonya o kori na dogbane dogbane afi gbona kokko kwamunchi communion ya manya fefe be hu dogbane ke o to agban no vinya dogbane na dogbane afi gbona kokko kwamunchi so ke ya je na hihae to kilo na to ki afi gbona kokko kwamunchi na na ke ya ma le kwa o de o agbama koye mo le to kilo na to ki afi gbona kokko kwamunchi do ya na o apre be fatue na o donua pre be fatue to kilo na to ki afi gbona kokko kwamunchi na na ke ya ma le kwa o de o agbamakoye ngole twekilo na twekie tweki afigbo na kloko kwentia
adechi wezalo bore wu a enye orenwe bore
wu a enye orenwu jewo ya madona ha bobo fulele madona ha bobo domajika Bianco Bishop Comboni, Bakpore, my Miason Leme. Yanovi, President Fire, Yanovi, President Mahunya, Ashino Bate Chibon Benae, Coseto, Mahunya, Brunade, Bibla Hade Yamafia, Fadao de Papa. Magale, novi ode fumo, fulele, manya posebeto, magadu fulele, befeda madeko, dubane novi wa chuchuba, au, afina ba kroko kwa unti, ne mauna yawe, etubane afi bona kroko kwa unti. Ke mi kano de kavi miele fumae, tubane, na topene afi bona kroko mi peto de kavi miele fumae topene na topene afi bona kroko to de kano de kavi miele fumae topene na topene afi bona kroko Dashi Jonya Ukori, Natopene, Happy Borato Ke Communio Yamanya for Tobana Toaba, Novinia, Natopene, Happy Borato Soke ya jena hikai twekio na twekie
Hododui na milo
nana ke amala kwa odo agbama ko mole twekie na twekie hafi bwana koko Doya na o pe ba fatwe na o tonye ape ba fatwe twekie na twekie happy bona koko na onu mi ape ba fatwe na onu vo ape ba fatwe twekie na twekie happy bona koko
Yo novi lonlon todo lao nyasa lao sale ke miento menyana na zuba do jora gbe egbe lao gbe ko mi ga ba so gbe le station fia NSB don ya me va le WGAC bena ma na mi nya bena mi ga ba so gbe le fia mi ga cho wo na o ke ga ba na mi Hododui show ai alejin egbe mi le chairman ke ne Andrelia manque que blavo ton egbe vivi apo gani miti blaton yi weather han le bladrevo ton yi kenya 73 degrees tana zuba wa me kana domo le fia na jagba mega black kochi sale que mi no blanc le fafa mo no do awu na nyakpo na zuba tugbeje le nyua na do awu le nyakpo na de kajere chafa na isala kpo tugbejere ma vai isala kpo nwo la jojine ye na de kajere nyua o chala jira ro nyua avuda nyua menye bela da panyare ta emia no nyun aju kpo ano vovono ta na zuba le mianko sen le WGAC 98.3 FM onto your dial na listen gafu yama na jagbana na ketore mianchi Hododui shaleji ta mega demogole mianwu na zuba on le mianko sema ta na no miankosem megademagbo afotonye Mr. Day choke ABM parking egbona bana na zubagbenya dogbe ala ogbese wale kemi dogole domo na egbona hobe SB don egbe am blog na stronye lo na stronye si ayin ha agbole na mere amama halaga agbole na mere koke amola WGAC nkosam yo le radio show sha o le miankosam amayo kana le Facebook live awano miakpon ene mi jo le Facebook live a mi mo jo mi agbo mi mo jo le mi amapomo mi mo jo le mi ama adofo mi gazo keke gavel le YouTube tanu le gbenya YouTube gbenya tapping radio show cover nde sha de kemi wo jo keke gomojeje keke ba dasina nwa le miakpogwe le miankose keke ta ma wi no jira mi ba mi le mian magadem gbe le miancho mi bla mi azipio mi anu anya Hododui na milo.
Togbi. Togbi nyake jojo makawe le miawu le Facebook fi amia dakpe no mia do wezono.
Nupola ple nyasala ple nupola kata mi do gbena mi. Agbe ganya ajora ma hanu yara nya muna javie. Agbe ganya ajora bala mi ento mi oni na nyakpa gbanto makwe na ma ochi fofo binto akpa vevelia makwe na mo ama ba Apostle Alex Salom, Pastor Bibi Adodo, Pastor Jifanu Agbanya, Pastor Leaford Bohini, Pastor Patrick Von Jackson. Nana make ha Togbi Simon Ado, Pakla Mama Awusi, Shikanya Mila Novishi Habobo, Shikanya Mia Vaoba, Habobo la Chicago, Ntoma Fiaba, Gashaga, na mi gara moji kwa mi no na mi anchi mi dena magbana mi hona no mi ye mi fiana afodofo nyu ha mi nana make ha mi anovio na la moji fia o la mi accessin ama ba Rita Samako adla mi anchicho ye wona ajagoma gake up to now agala mi accessin mi dakpe no nana make ha ama ba Afi Savo Bright Ati Dokpo Afo Sanyo Agata Tipo Helen Pali Mianovira Kema Manlona Miagbokraw Irresistible Benis Desire Jagato Doris Jamashi Pastor Bibi Rosebuck Kuna Mause Amafa Stephen na obe manima yunglo last name na magayo nko yoga ka fifle fia miame katana la mianchi ya miawe mo mi dak papa mi la mianchi lo davi ma shinya la shof mi akwa ya
nyasela kpolo kpola nyama o shi love ya mocho jobi JC 98.3 FM la Chicago fia nyasela kpolo kpola incho jodagwa nya kukuriado va yiji ta miga kashi mo miga troga va kpe enemia mia aponucho nyama nwe fifi la fia mia fo havia da na miko mia ga trova kpe. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Not a God dependent on any mortal man. You are not a God in need of anything we can give by a plans. That's just the way it is. You are not a God created by human hands. You are not a God dependent on any mortal man. You are not a God in need of anything we can give by a plans. That's just the way it is. My ways, so you go my job. chi. Walk when you're my I saw la nuit devant ma walk when la chi. Walk when you're my walk when you're my so you go my jump. Walk when la chi. Walk when you're my I take God in need of everything we can give by a planes. That's just the way my womb. Joy, you go my job. I walk when la chi. I walk when you're my womb. I saw la nuit devant ma. I walk when la chi. I walk when you're my womb. I walk when you're my womb. So you go my job. I walk when la chi. I walk when you're my womb. I saw la nuit devant ma. I walk when you're my womb. My womb. So I've come to bless you, Lord. I've come to give you praise. You are good all the time. I've come to lift my voice. Baba, I give you praise. There's nobody like you, Lord, nobody. When I think about your goodness and your mercy, your light that shines all around me, make me wanna praise you some more.
This is WGAT 98.3 FM.
Nyasala planu polao maba modo is on the miakata mila WGAC 98.3 FM. Your voice, your music, your station. Nyasala planu pola incho wana Jehovah wana dova yiji anu goma sasama val WGAC kula mia Hododui show tima mia domo jiku pokpo kula lako gloni anu goma masa van noni tagba mia fa general manager kula mia fa CEO la mia ngufia oba yova shuaji klemi na ale mi ba egba mia oda kuku na mia fa nu kpola okula mia fa onuselawo kata gake afi wova dzifia miaga ƒo ha ɖeka ne mianawo mɔ nɔva ano mia domeko miako wɔnawo akɔ yi dzie nyaselawo kple nukpɔlawo enye mawo si lɔve ya me le WGAC 98.3 FM tɔgbi hododio mekawe ga join mi fia le Facebooka
fifi le fia sister Imelda Dogbe Sister Helen le mianchise si Sister Mawiena Agbeblewu Agbeblewu kpakple Stefan Tech mia ame okena join mi fia nya
okay
oku ga
anya de la shua SB Don wo we gbe sha gbenya la shu ta keep it short
oba ajove joje te dohe afofie dame masan zialon dasia mime anyonyo kele adema gbohe jome foave porare evogbere game jinle na mocho evogbe ba na medo oba de kama amare ba de go na zuba medo ko amare masegomo na biji don ko ba o evogbe to menila apovi menyu apoyo jinle evogbe am nya de gbe yo tare hurido sho ya lejin magade magbele mianchi o na la ponye SB dans le fia da love le miojina togbe hurido to le miojina ma ke la nyabo hurido sho matro ni eva jaba like ta migade magbele mianchi o sale ke da love gblena na no ijincho maso kple fo yovo gblaba lack of communication wa ke yovo gba ma gbenyota kadodo mpupu na monovi kadodo ade eva ti magbevie na bena na no te do mora ncho wa ke mi enwu yo jiragado horido sha eva like ta ma una yirami be mi le mianchi mi ga de magbe mianchi o ego menye be mi ga jolo mwanchi o ma una yirami horido na mi lo
mi ga troga back bi nya sala
This is WGAC 98.3 FM.
Nyasala kplo nukpola wezo na milo fifi life ya miapo general manager le mianu fia kple miapo CEO ogbona migbona tamia de kuku na mi vogba almost tututu miapo CEO ya masa vogba kra ya shanti towe aka miapo general manager ya vodomo towe gaka vodomo ha akli
ebula doe tare ebuva doe ta negbe amia kpereng ne zwo de blog mo gblenu ha ala du si jina ta ne me do abokli go ne kwa enkonye se ma una irami
ofo la sana wezon lo
yo akpena mi
madakuku nike join chojo da gbele Hododui show aji nike jo afi anu gomo seseva le mi adomain cho ati ana mi afa nukpola kple nyasela osogoma
yo akpena mi nyasela mato bwana mi Hododui salao mato fiana mi inchomie nya he join me nyane ke jo api ngake me dibe ne doin me fonu voin me ba si o chale fie abe ma ale ma shik blene chale lanu fogbe ne fonu voin me le dibe Hododui oche wa clarify oche be part of nke situation he join let me just I'll try to be brief. One of the reasons say me for license for this radio station, actually one of the reasons say me be boss CEO for license for this station enye be ne akọ promote Ghanaian culture alobe the culture of the minority communities. One of the key factors FCC consider Yaonami FM station. It is the first in history by an African community, specifically a Ghana. One Nami FM license like Chicago. It's never happened before, even the Midwest. I'm sure you guys can do your research. There were some key things. That vision ne ya create platform ne amo miobe gbela ne miobe gbe culture mega bu be ni metin ka ni gbo miobe kasem alo agbo miobe nyawo le miobe to miobe gbeme egbe that one of the reasons that God gave birth to other local shows in addition to the Hododui show. Him dogo miobe CEO la echina mbede. I've been looking for a show for the Ewe community. Bele show did it. No one promote Ewe culture. And as a an Ewe person, I've always been advocating for something like that. That it took me more than 6 months. Bela mo di body whenever I show le me get the Ghana Ewe association me la mo bia le leaders o bia beru. Me le kuku de me start radio station le fi me be CEO le dibede ne me promote me be Ewe culture pletowe blue to de le aussi egento che o start de egento nketai me o che peto mi va di Hausa to che ya me la mo recruit me va bia me la mo bia America me le me de na mu ka SB don le fi nyem me de solime de ka me china for about 3 months achieve me va le no bileme ya ma ovadi ma dogo ma o shi play Mike hawe ya o no bede wa sure ya mechi no bede sure hey wa gbe mi lele. First of all, me pete mi le fi, there's nobody that has a professional radio background. We are not journalists. It's just the passion we have for our communities. Apart from the CEO, of course, the person who has the vision, akwenye professional le fi elekwa ta me pete de ko me have passion bede me one day ana me be community vo enikele join bede there's the vision, we have goal gamele me as me call run station as an organized professional institution. Radio station radio station is a full-time job. It's a whole project. Kake mi le fiefin America me le kanamiu mi obe Ghana to Africa to mi lo bia gasiaga mi le gasiaga mi naga mi gado mi a telethon gado mi a nyami wo festival mi wo event kra in the community kra mi a to me va no va che o me donate na mi anto be nke pocket money. Me call it and no run. Ta elefu den na me say na me be me ata run no akefe na mo alo be the adi producer. I make sure there's the right structures are in place to keep the place functioning professionally. Now it's just a brief background. Now what is happening in WGAC? Tala ever when you're such a way, we become shorthand with producers and some of the resources that we need to run the place. Okay. A few shows, for Mondays for Hododui, they've been having difficulties in getting the producer. And as the CEO and myself, like I said, this is a full-time job. Okay, we are all doing it on part-time basis. 2 hours here, 3 hours here, 4 hours here. How do you run a whole radio station like that? But we are trying. Betty, me leave legacy, me generations to come, and we want to do it for me culture. Communities, African, Afro-Caribbean, Afro minority communities. Like, we want to do something for communities. That we are sacrificing to the core, but people will not even understand the kind of sacrifices individuals have to go through to give you what we'll be giving you day in, day out. That Monday, Nyami have a join. Hododui show. Ba short okay producer ne producer melola ida CEO ava stand our produce show alo be enyemava alo mi adi amede egbe Monday he that very Monday nyake ejo be oyo CEO as usual la no yo en ever back ben don okay that very day la ache babysitter be ba le CEO na be dey ya no many akpo ibe infant baby baby sit infant baby. That was the very first time any of them had called me. I don't know how long, but they will attest to it on the show. But they young, but I haven't picked the call or returned their call. That was the first day, first time ever. Oh young, you must see me come on. No tight vide. Ta not knowing bela. America na you. Ta oje. Proud to the passion they have, because of the passion they have for the station, the show, and the way people were calling them, challenge the job, show, and proud to one or two incidents that are happening in our community and within our organization, which we don't have to disclose to you all because they are internal. Tala, oche, no batedon, they were obliged to be there for their audience. To serve their audience as they've been doing all the time. Out of the passion and the frustration of the day, but American ministry I produce well. I'm watching yo chewawa. Ta ejebena ono wande ta over yi SB don af me. Ya over was show left me. Ya over was show left me like as you all heard it enya over alone communicate situation la. Made kukuna mi bede merci gba o le fie watch na mi merci gba o le bede miawe he course the concept of Hododui covering we would go against it or we would try to pin it down or we're trying to take it off. The reason WGS is here is because of this vision okay Hododui aka nye egentoto ple pampaso nye ebluto ple voga ebluto che ebluto have nke ameve there's no way how, and again, and I literally hunted this report down after over 6 to 7 months, but whenever with all the passion and the zeal, but we never promote never culture. How there's no way, and being at the helm of affairs how would we give birth something to this and be so passionate about it and turn around? For what reason? Like they said, obe show number one show lefi. Don't make your listeners on Facebook feed there's no show that topples Hododui. That who in their right sense, business wise, culturally, socially, economically, in all the reasons, don't make up for mia cancel Hododui show alo be mia one day show or my it was only a mere miscommunication and misunderstanding and passion. Mother Kukuna Mbede, and look at John Monday, it was just mere passion and frustration. But we want to do something for our people, but it's not happening. Yeah, understanding. Maybe you know, Tabiba, we are meeting. Bedo, you told me, situation, Valley. That Mr. Menami Bede, me may do a signal. Our choice, Menami Be, oh, your chair, the mother frustrated. Yeah, I'm a salmon, the Kukunamia, no, the Kukuna watch or the Kunamedo. Misunderstanding, ever job. If we are family, they are they are the core of the vision. Time, Mother Kukuna mi bede. And look at John Man last week Monday. Me a do benemau, and we also make sure bede maga jokel. Ne misunderstand the crowd join. Mia hochi body. Abia me and I approach me. Abe aleminya we are not professionals. Time kweke me and best extra patience with us bede. Even though we are not professionals, nobody's getting paid, including the CEO. We are still just trying to serve our community. That I think is a wake-up call for all of us and our community and beyond. Make better meow. I gather la me see me reach out to me. Let me I can't pay me a light bill, me rent, crouching. At least let me let pay. We can also keep sacrificing. That make better meow. These things are bound to happen because they Ghana. Time abluti mile America do me ta ne alle frustration come less stress and la ne nobody sick behind these things are bound to happen. People will be frustrated and people will be forced to say things because a gabanya time tami de kunami maga jokel I love there's no bitterness o da no that fieke medu okay man wake me
Ofo sana maba ma bia bade can me promise but from now on me better communication have ga because show ya day na meeting when ya ye mother ha akpomi abaya sponsor me na ma ha ye ga station avage through sponsorship
you must akbe in heavy wa meeting the meeting it's not about lack of communication because me in chomie Betty like I said earlier my young bought him a return call. That was about the only first time SB done. Mike, you attest to it. Ben a yom alinko. Alo be sena yeah me your back alo me call phone. This never happened. It was just that one time. And the problem is not communication, buddy. And you are made here. Yeah. And exactly as the CEO in a short while in English, he was communicating with the Hododui. Tamaoshi many beddy. It's not about communication at all because he was caught talking to you that day. But the baby said, the only option left was me. And Jeb men not tight. And first time ever, I'm all young CEO, young, I'm making sure young, me think of phone. And this happened, la. It is not about communication. No, it's not about communication. Crowd, Mother Kukuna, maybe audience, pete, mother, name your CEO, actually, global part. Now avoid Hododui che awa auto be me de kukuna mi be me akweke mi bede it won't happen again gakela me be support play me be patience ya dimele WGSU will become something great and if it becomes that we will owe it to you and to everybody here akbenami bye bye
nya sala kula nukola fia mi apasi yo haba ya garama na ya ponu for a few minutes.
Okay, thank you Mausi. I see that's my cue, right, to come in. Okay, so I know your listeners. No, it's okay. They should continue to look at your beautiful faces. I don't know what our GM said, but I can feel the spirit that is in a positive vibe. And to all your listeners and your followers, to the Eweland, Togo, Volta, and everyone that's following, please understand that there was prior to this past Monday last week, there was a show that was canceled. That made it 2 times that a show's been canceled. The other one was not very good communication coming from both ends because that time there was a producer available, but the show couldn't come from the other hand. And this time there was no producer available and the talents was here. So both 2 times that the show was canceled, it was not purposely to do that, especially in respect to the listeners and the followers of Hododui. So please take heart and forgive us. Forgive the WGAC and the production company, production team, and the Hododui team as well. Now, for the whole thing to come up on that Monday, I believe it's out of passion, out of a bit of frustration why things were not going as much as we want everything to be very. just a little bit. As much as I salute you all. As much as we want everything to be very professional, so that is why I feel like that's why that's what the frustration came out of, because we want everything to be professional and consistent. Because these beautiful people have given their time, their hidden talents. Now we know what they can do in front of people and to the community. They're given all of that, and together with the platform, we've come together as a team to service the Ewe community. Togo and Volta as well. So, and Benin, and so please, for those listeners out there, we plead with you that what transpired last week on the Hododui show with things that were said about the station, and all those things were out of frustration and not correct. They are not accurate at all. We call these people in to help us service the specific group of people, that is the Ewe community. And I went as far as calling the chief of the Ewe community, Togbe Ado, making sure we have their blessing, their permission, and the leaders. So this is a very serious thing, and there is no ill feelings here. Now, the listeners that might not even still take on this as it's a mistake and we corrected ourselves. You see the banner behind them. The beautiful banner was donated by, I'm not mentioning them, I said by a very loyal listener. And you know what that listener called me when he said, how can I mail this to? The person called me and we were having a chat on the phone. And that's what tells me how big this thing is and the future of this thing, that it really is connecting to a specific group of people. And it's enriching the culture. It's also promoting and exhibiting the positive identity of being an Ewe or the Ewe culture. So she said, this is a movement. I don't know, Mike and Marcy, I think when I was giving you the package, I told you that whoever the person is told me, this is a movement. It's bigger than even just being on this 4 small corners of the studio. So please, if the equipment they're talking about and all of that, those are all things that are in line to help promote this show to be bigger than just a Monday show. You've noticed that Hododui have a kind heart, and whenever a loyal listener is in need, they go to their aid. I've seen them go to a sick follower, a sick supporter. She was sick, and I seen Don take off his shirt in a singlet, and Mausi was doing the pepper, Mike was doing the, I don't know if you were doing the banku or something, but it was just because they're telling you they love their listeners so much that the people, at least for the people in Chicago, they cater to them. They went there, spent time with that lady. That spoke volumes to me. So for a show like this, that is actually really going beyond. They were called in and didn't know what was going to happen. And now God has elevated this platform to another level. So there's no way we as a station, what happened on Monday was I was trying my best from 3 p.m. in the afternoon to find a solution to the production of Hododui. I was talking to all, the 3 of them, at least, not Don, but at least Maosi, and we couldn't find it. And out of frustration, and the inconsistency of, the show in the past 2 weeks brought out the ranting, and, it felt like WGAC, I believe there's a call. I'll really be brief so that the calls can come in. And I felt like out of that came the frustration that made Hododui rant a little bit and vent a little bit out. And all those information was out of frustration of misunderstanding. That was not about communication, it was misunderstanding and some type of person. I think there's a caller. I will pause here, and then maybe a caller want to chime in. I'll ask a question that we could. That's why I didn't want the thing to be on me, because see, now your beautiful face is what needs to be seen.
Yo, what did she allergy? Marakuwa makela kajinemi.
SB Don, desire.
Afo Desire Jakato. Morocco was on the WGC. Morocco Egba,
I just want to speak so that everybody can hear. So I'll go English, if that's okay. Mado Yefugbe, Ali Okatawasi.
Yo, Morocco Egba.
Okay, just a quick, I just want to make a short input. The whole thing we are saying is a communication gap. The reason why I see the problem as communication gap is this. You were saying that last week you had a challenge getting a babysitter for your baby, which is a genuine concern. To me, if you were to communicate to the crew, the Hododui crew, that this is your challenge earlier on, like maybe hours before, okay, they would have prepared or made an alternative arrangement how they can run a show. Instead of coming to the studio to meet, how do you call it, a lock station.
Yeah, bro, I think you didn't hear me well. You didn't hear me well.
The point I'd like to make is that in life, things happen that we don't plan for, okay? So in the future, when things happen, there should be communication. Say that, oh, this is my challenge now, so can we get plan B or plan C or plan this? Say that the crew won't come there and meet a locked door.
That's very true. Bro, what is the name again? Desire. My brother, thank you very much, and I appreciate your comment. And I don't know when you came on, what I was saying exactly just that. I was communicating with the crew from 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Now that is about 5 hours to the show. So okay. Right. So we were on the phone, texting, calling, back and forth. Mike, I don't know why Mike came here and I don't know when he got his communication, but from the time I started calling people, looking for producers and trying to find ways to have the show go on was from 3 in the afternoon. So just to answer your question, that communication was going on. But it still does not excuse the fact that we weren't able to execute or find a resolution to it if indeed we started talking from that time. So I don't know if that answers it, but it was from 3. I mean, I can prove that to you if vividly you want to.
So that's okay.
Yeah. So we communicated. We even at 7:30, I was still on the phone with Mausi, and we're trying to find a solution to it.
Okay. The second point I would like to also input is just a suggestion, though.
Sure.
That is it possible that you teach the person, anybody who comes there, like any of the crew members, you can give them a basic producing skill, such that if you find like you don't get the human resource to come and produce them, they can get to the studio and then get their own stuff set up.
Beautiful question, and we have already.
I know Mike did that one time.
Yeah, he did that.
So if you can have basic like producing training, like that, the person can be multitasking, so that you move forward. Because the way the situation is now, we can't have a constant producer for every show. That's what I'm seeing.
Yes, and I believe that was one of the resolutions we came up with at our meeting. That Mike has done that before, has been taught basic, but as easy as it sounds, and the chemistry between them and what they do, we want that chemistry to continue with at least the dancing, the jokes, and all of that. But yes, we still would teach Mike, and I believe maybe it's a rhythm to it to produce and be able to also be on air at the same time. But yes, we've started training Mike, but when I got back from Ghana, we have not touched that part yet. But that is one of the solutions that we agreed on to do. So yes, we are in line with you on that one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, bro. I appreciate it. I hope you're not mad or
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. When we feel challenge, you just have to find a resolution to it and move forward. That's what I believe.
I like that. Thank you very much. That's what we are doing, and we are doing with you guys as our listeners.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
For Desire.
Yes.
Mauna Yirokaka. Yo. Magajula Miamuno Mianchi.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So as I was saying, Mausi, thank you guys for giving me the platform to talk. And I would not have done this, but I just wanted to really clarify the air. It's not too much on both parties our faults. It's just that out of what you guys have done, you've done well. You've done extremely well, more than well. Even I'm the one that's saying, like, hey, we need to have an inauguration of this thing because it's more than just a talk show. It's a movement. It's a culture. We need to do that.
Marakuku WGAC 98.3 FM Jia Hododui show ya seminal moko amekela kama.
Radio na mito.
Aho. Sahel na fon.
Dale.
Moko atento yafugba no kata ha no sagoma.
So, yafugba na mo doju kwa yafugba wa vana. Vacation.
Nyera kuja gbako.
So, I mean, so I was boiling. Manager, seriously. At least the CEO tried a little bit. The manager spoiled everything. The excuse he was giving, the story was not adding up. I mean, we, the viewers and listeners, were very, very pissed because that day, you guys had WGHC T-shirt on, and for you guys to come over and meet a locked door, I don't think, sir, it was miscommunication, whatever. There was no communication. I don't believe there was a communication. If the CEO said he was communicating with you guys since 3 p.m., how come you guys didn't know that you were coming to a locked door? It doesn't make sense to me, first of all. So it's like somebody is not telling us the truth.
Okay,
I don't know
and I leave that to and my queen, thank you very much. I leave that to Mike because as I'm telling you right now, I told you, even if you want, I can show you, if you're on the Facebook Live, could show you the records of when we started talking.
I mean, you just 5 hours. They would have told me I would have drove down there, come and babysit the children.
That would be beautiful. I would have loved that. And you know, what happened was I got a call from the sitter that, you know, she would not be able to make it. Yeah. And I kept calling back. But Mike, I don't know when Mike didn't get the communication well on time. But like I said, he maybe assumed somebody would be here. I don't know. We don't know whether he was here or not. We've given the benefit of the doubt that he was here.
Yeah.
But you know, I was talking with him and Mausi.
How the manager started to explain the issue, he's making us believe that what happened on Monday was because you guys didn't have enough money to run the show, or you guys needed money to support the show or whatever. That's how he started that when they're begging us for money and all that, people are not paying. I know that it's not everybody who has a little extra to support, but I know some people are trying. But if you make it seem like because there is no money, that's why the show couldn't come on and all that. How about the other shows? Are they getting that much enough money to support you guys?
Yeah, but Queen, you are absolutely right. And I think that the GM was coming from the overall aspect of the station, not particularly for this show. This show, like I said, maybe Michael Togbe Hododui might not have gotten the communication on time, or I don't know when he decided to show up here and the door was locked. Like I said, Mausi can attest to it. Don can attest to it, and I can also give you a proof of when we started talking and looking for a producer for them. So nobody's really lying here. It's just that because, you know, the feed was coming from you guys that there's no show, and what's happening, and out of the frustration is what made them, you know, think that, you know, we locked the door on them. No, we were talking to them. We were having a conversation with them. So I don't know how Michael ended up here to find the door locked whilst we were still talking to them.
Can I respond?
Well, I understand, but they made us understand that this was not the first time or the second time.
No, this is
the time Mike Hododui was the one trying to help, but it was a total mess.
No. The Monday, the Monday before. Let me be clear. The Monday before, I was here. I was here waiting for them to come so we can have a show. But then there was a situation. I said, I have an emergency, but I will not confirm to that emergency unless I know I have a producer for you. And we called another guy that was going to come in, but the guy did not answer or showed up, and I was still here. But Hododui team said that they were not rested well and they couldn't come, so they canceled on their own. It wasn't a cancellation from the station, the one before this Monday. So, like I said, the story somehow, because of frustration, got misconstrued somehow, somewhere. Yeah. But in all, we trying to work together for the benefit and the impact of this show that is so positive and for you guys. You know what I'm saying? So we now we are here. Now we are here. So it's not a matter of it's not a matter it's not a matter of it's not a matter of just the funding and all of that. No, that's not the issue, because we know that you guys will really, really support. And
I want to clarify that, caller. Please, what's your name? What's your name, please, caller?
Helen.
Okay, Helen, thank you so much. Helen, again, that's what he said. When I mentioned that, I wasn't referring to specifically saying because we can pay people to produce Hododui show. All I'm saying is that all I was trying to emphasize on is that it's a general problem that we have here. A lot of people, sometimes people come here with their guests. People call off work. They come here and there's not a producer to produce their shows. And so what I'm saying is that because we can't pay people to be here constantly, because every radio station, you need a stationary producer or producers so that station can be run consistently. But in our case, it's either the general manager has to step in or the CEO has to step in. And this is not our full-time job. We are also volunteering. And so when the two of us are now available and nobody else can come in, it becomes extremely difficult. And that's why I started referring to.
Is there any way that we can have some kind of software or technology whereby they don't need to come into the station all the time? They can do it remotely from wherever they are.
It has to be bought. Those things have to be bought.
But it should be broadcasted, on
GSC.
The equipment it still comes down to money.
Helen, to answer that, we would that is what we are doing, and those softwares and those gadgets call for programs like Siana or any outside production. But we would like to encourage all the shows to be held here in the studio, because that is the umbrella, that is the platform. But if Hododui or any other show is going on a remote program or something, yes, we need those gadgets so that they can broadcast remotely. If it wasn't for the way Hododui broadcasted the situation, it's not how it seems. That's not the case. And we have an internal meeting, and we've gotten a better understanding. So the way it came out and the way you guys perceived it, you are not at fault. The way it came out is how you are perceiving it. You understand me, Helen?
Because Helen,
but it's not like that.
Because Helen, look at it this way: the CEO and myself were the one that came up with the concept of Hododui show. Okay, we are so passionate about it. Someone I said earlier, I spent more than 6-7 months talking to people. That is not usually me. I don't do that. I have spoken to people that I'm not supposed to speak with. I have begged people countless times. Like you said, we've gone to the Airway Association. We've spoken to the Airway leaders, people like the extent of which we've gone to see this thing come up to this extent. There's no way. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense that the parents, people, somebody you've given birth and you want to, you don't want the progress of your own child, something like that, So please understand it from that.
I understand. We love Hododui show.
Yeah, and we love Hododui show too. And we love the audience.
Because of Hododui show. So over to you, listeners.
No, Helen, before you go, understand this. Hododui is helping the station and vice versa. You understand? Just for every show here, we have Caribbeans. We have like this Sunday. Watch the Saturday show. There's a nice white people show goes on here. Right. So see, it's a platform. We cannot let go of our Hododui show. So we like for you to encourage to support more, so that we can I'm not sure who I talked to on the phone the other time. The caller that did the banner. The person said something that touched my heart. He said it's a movement. It's more than just a talk show.
Exactly.
So now, this platform, you see, I'm speaking in a kind language, and but at the same time, they both help each other. So we want you guys to understand there's no foul, ill spirit here or bad intentions. The way the frustration and the passion and the work that you're doing, can you believe how far Mausi have gotten, how far Dawn and those people have gotten to? So please, our listeners, our loyal, yes, and yes, they are moving so fast, and we are behind them 100%.
And Helen,
So
last thing,
that's another
last thing. If you talk to the Hododui people offline, what you are seeing now is exactly what I told them before they started this show. I told them that if you guys start this and you take care of it, it's going to be international. It's going to be a movement. That's exactly what we are seeing now.
It is international right now.
Thank you.
So Sister Helen, are you okay now?
No, not really. I want Schnapp.
You said what? Say that again.
I want Schnapp.
You want Schnapp?
We'll bring Schnapp. We'll bring Schnapp. Just give me your address. Just send your address. We'll send you Schnapp. Okay, please.
We here. Thank you very much.
We'll come and drink with you.
All right. Enjoy the rest of the show.
I want the listeners to support the show. They should donate. We shouldn't just say it with our mouth. We need to do something. And manager, please get sponsorship. It's not only our little donations. Get some sponsorship for the show.
We are working on it.
You can always help us too. You're
working on it. Let me tell you a short, quick story. 5 seconds. One of our own Ghanaian communities, Ghanaian businesses, we went to them to give us the advertisement so we can give us advertisement on our radio station. Do you know how much they suggested to pay us?
How much?
$20
a month.
Even the phone that
even the water we buy to the station, how much is it? They told us they're going to give us $20 a month. So it's a challenge, but we are on it, and trust me,
we will support our own.
Look,
the viewers and listeners.
It's going to happen though. We are still working. Things are going to happen. Things are going to happen. All right. Amen. All right.
All right. Bye.
Marakuku awamakela kaji.
Maraku and Salome.
Afo Salom.
Your number Don Kabi.
Afo Kabi. Afo Namia.
Me phone.
To New Jersey.
Me phone. Hododui nami.
Ajibi ado ya fugba no so alo.
Yeah, I think I'll just follow the route. What's going on? I will first of all I will express my appreciation to the management that they were able to get back to this issue. And you guys, I'm seeing you guys back to the studio in this stand. So thanks to management, thanks to you guys for working cooperatively to get this thing back.
Thank you, sir.
So going forward on the case, I will just touch on one key issue about communication, because everything I listen to right now, it boils back to effective communication. I mean, you guys, I understand the management says they've communicated, they have issues and all that, but I don't know who they direct all these communications to and at what time. I mean, effective communication has its own components. I mean, its own context. So I would just advise you going forward that if you really are communicating about this program and how you're hosting, what time, what is happening, we should be timing what we want to say to each other at what time the information needs to come, because information, when it comes at a later time, it becomes ineffective, and that confuses everybody. So I would just entreat you guys to just stick to timing and what you need to communicate to each other, and timing. What quarters? Like if you guys have a group page that you could send a message that it comes to Mike, it comes to Mousy, it comes to Dawn, the same time, everybody gets that information. We don't need to worry about stuff that we told Mike. Probably Mike had a different personal situation and forgot to, share the information. Then it becomes a problem. So we should find a very good platform to share information very quickly on time, so we get problems niche in the bud before they get worse. So that's my second thought on this whole issue. And my last thought, which will be advice, is that once this has been resolved in the background and you're speaking about it now over here, I feel that we should end the details here because as listeners, as viewers, as we are, we understand that we participate in this show and to make it success. But everybody will have a view. I mean, many of us will have a different view, and we want our views to be heard on this issue. So it's not advisable that you go more detail about this case over here. Fine, management has come to apologize. They've worked with the team. The team, they've cleared the issues. I mean, let's just call it off and, patch up whatever we need to be patching up so we don't get into this situation again. So I also wish that we end it here. But thankfully, you guys are back, and I welcome you, and I appreciate everybody and all what you're doing. So that is my 3 points that I'll put out for you. But let me touch on this funding and stuff before we go. Well, the whole radio show, I feel that they are on my perspective, like my opinion right now, looking at what I'm seeing, the program is on its own. The radio station is on its own. I don't know if you can clarify this, manager. Is a program part of it, the radio station, or the program has to be on its own, and you guys have an agreement to just broadcast on platform?
Okay.
Just want to ask this question.
So let me clarify that. Now, this is how, like the GM said, we recruited and created the Hododui show and handed it over to Mausi, Don, and Togbe Michael. And we gave them the creative control over the show, but it's part of WGAC's programming. So this is how it's set up. There are communities and programs that come and buy airtime, and those shows are not necessarily part of WGAC's in-house programming. We have our in-house programming, and that is serving the demographics in our community. I hope you are following me. And so Hododui is not on its own, as they buy airtime and they are producing it on their own, or they're doing everything on their own and whatever. It's part of the radio programming. So we work hand in hand with them. However, if they want to do something, more that will help the program or the station, that help the show itself, we come together and we work together and we see how best we can make that happen in terms of getting the gadgets, getting the technical aspect of it and everything else. But to answer your question short, it's not on its own as maybe, I don't know how you've perceived it, but it's not on its own. It's part of the Pampaso, the Progressive Minds, the Voga, and all of that. There are people that rent airtime here to do their own show that are not necessarily, they might be on our timetable just to let people know that this is the time they come on, but they are not in-house. In-house don't pay for airtime. They don't pay for, we produce, we do everything, we do, and then they're part of the vision, and they're carrying out the vision. So that's why we went and sought them out and recruited them, just like we did other shows for the Gans and the Ashantis, and we even went as far as going for the North, and they still haven't come back to us yet. So I don't know if that answers your question.
That answers perfectly. My follow-up will be, do you have any specific agreement that exists between you as a radio station and the team that you recruited? I mean, do you have any governing?
Yes, we have an agreement here at the station that is a waiver. It's a volunteer agreement waiver. That is pretty much like, okay, this is an in-house show. This is, by the FCC regulations and by the station's regulation. And we have agreements with people that buy airtime and want to have their own slot here and do all of that. That is just, and that's a different agreement than what we have with the in-house people. We in-house people are more so like a waiver, more so like a volunteer agreement, whatever. We have the GM signed it, I signed it, everybody that is here signs it. But I'm not sure if we have really given that to Hododui. I'm not sure if we have in the past or whatever, but there is an agreement like that here. But I'm not sure what type of agreement you are alluding to in terms of, whether is to be like something like, is it connected to the station or whatever?
Well, my brother,
yeah,
maybe if I can help answer the question.
So basically, the Hododui show is carrying out the vision of WGAC. So as a result, so they are part of us. Like WGAC will not necessarily be fully functioning as an entity or fully functioning or performing its functions and living up to its responsibilities to the community if shows like the what do you call it, Hododui, Akeake, Voga, and these shows are now on. If they WGS wouldn't be sincerely following through what it told the FCC that it was going to do. So WGS, I mean, Hododui is like, again, it's our baby. You know, we cooked this app to what do you call it? Fulfill what the CEO told the FCC that he was going to do. So there's no problem with that's why I said we couldn't fathom it that we heard. I mean, that went down on Monday, but we knew for sure that our brothers and Moshi and I go way back. Actually, we were mates in Maoli school. The two other guys are church members and friends. So it's more than just teams and workers. No, we're family and we're friends. So, but I knew there was a passion and there was frustration because of how they've come to love this show and because of the connection now they have with their audience. So we are together. What do you call it?
That's good to hear. I mean, to my understanding right now, it's part of the strategy, implementing the strategy. You give birth to Hododui Show. Hododui Show is part of you. So how do you expect funding? Coming back to my point, how do you participate in funding? What are you involved?
Okay. So
you leave it up to them?
No. Let's answer that briefly. There is. If anybody wants to sponsor Hododui Show, there is a package available for any show that is on here that is looking for. I mean, that somebody's looking to sponsor them. You can sponsor the entire station, but if you pick to choose, like for instance, people want to support Hododui Show, there's a particular package for that. Nobody has asked yet, but it's always available. That's why we always do the donation drive thing on when they come on. Please donate, please donate. But if people, entities, businessmen and women that are in the Ewe community want to say, you know what, we want to sponsor, I think Green Safe or some, it's one Green Safe, the one we just played, the ad before the show started. He has decided to support Hododui Show, so Hododui will do a jingle for them, and so there are packages and arrangements around that if anybody wants to sponsor a show here. And if it's specifically Hododui, there are arrangements for that.
And even if you go on our website, we have it such that you can choose any show or any other thing in WGAC apart from the entity itself to donate to.
And there is an agreement with the team. And I keep going back and forth with Hododui, Mike. Sometimes I say 60%, sometimes I say 50%.
But wait. See, there's a general. I think in terms of funding the radio station, I just mentioned that. Look, one of our big problems here, and one of the reasons why this thing occurred, is because we haven't gotten the chance to have the right funding to get the right people to keep functioning as a regular radio station. Okay, that's a general problem. And I think every organization or most organizations, especially startups, beginners, we are only we are not even 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. I just said that is one of our problems. However, in terms of how the details of how we get funding and what we need, I think maybe
they're all available.
I think we can talk offline too.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk offline because as management, we are looking at other ways of funding so that these things can be curtailed. And so maybe let's talk offline.
Let's talk offline.
Exactly.
Yes, I will. I am always in touch with the team members. So I've always advised that stuff should be done in a way that this program gets funding. But knowing now that you guys is your birth, they are part of you. You brought them, you recruited them. I mean, I want to see you get on board with them when it comes to funding and what programs are you using to fund. Like, we want to see the jingles, we want to see the adverts. Like, you, even in a program to run for an hour, let us structure something. Even if it's GoFundMe, you did something, or even let's hear about that. Quite often, let's do something particular let's do something specifically to raise funds from individuals apart from the packages that you just put there. And I don't expect, not all of us have the time to just Google or go to your website to see the packages and all that. But it is your aggressive nature of asking for funding in different specific ways will get us involved. I mean, will get us involved to put something on board. So I just want to advise you to get involved very well and tailor funding programs aggressively and communicate it aggressively so we can get involved and fund this program. I'm not talking about station though.
Yeah.
Fund this program because this is where the interest is.
Yeah, so that's what we're saying. So this is where your interest is. You know, that's what we were looking at the bigger picture of, you know, getting the station so that everybody can get covered. But we also have arrangements for specific programs that your interest is, and we are getting involved in creating, you know, funding and ways and means and, you know, programs that can be, you know, can draw the donors out of, you know, this community to sponsor this particular program. That this is where your interest is. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, we wanted to just get something so that the whole station can be covered and we won't have this problem. But if you're interested in sponsoring just a particular show, that is also available to do. You know, so that we can and then, like I said, that also give them some motivation, some encouragement, and like we can talk offline, you know, because like you said, you've been talking to the stage, to the group, but the communication hasn't come to us, you know, so we don't know what you were thinking, what the audience want to do and all of that. But if we work together with the team and we get some communication, we can create something for you guys. This is where your interest is, and then, you know, we can get more sponsors and support for them.
Please, let's do that and sell it aggressively for this program specifically.
Okay.
And whatever you share maybe to the station, I don't know about it, but let's do something and sell aggressively to get our people put their their contributions to this program. Okay, because it's an excellent program. And I always tell these guys that, man, you don't have an idea what you're doing. You are drawing us, and there are future things when you develop this program very well, you will become famous, even than some of the famous Ghanaians over here. So please, let us do something aggressively to get funding.
Let's talk off air. What's your name again, sir? Salom.
So
yeah, let's talk off air. Let's talk off air and then see what you can do to help too. And anybody that's listening that wants to talk off air, you reach out to them. We can all collaborate and then, you know, work something good for
I will stay in touch. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Salom. Nyasalakula Nukolau, Miako, one more call, just 5 seconds. Come here.
Yes.
Madakuko awamekele mojifia. Makula mono o nusamwana na ponu na micho.
BBA Japan.
Oh, Pastor Bibi.
Madakuko, me now 5 seconds adoko.
Oh, okay, you want for no Biko.
Hello.
Hello.
Ba mi feedback bomcho afia nele ponu na mi le phone aji.
Okay. And you are?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All that I want to say is I thank both you, Hododui Group, and CEO and then GM. And I just want to say, let us all put everything at rest and then continue with this program. So what I want is, I just want you to play Agbaja and then Bobo for the general manager and CEO to dance with you.
Oh, you are a peacemaker. You are. There is no war, but you are a peacemaker.
So that is all I want. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. So,
Pastor Baby, Mauna, you know, Google.
So This man has waited on the line just to say that. He's waited for a very long time.
He's calling from Japan.
So, listeners, if you're listening, you can sense that, look, there's no ill feelings here. You can sense that this is one people for one vision, one goal. And we are here to promote the positive identity of our people from the Ereland, from the Akanland, from the Ganland, from everywhere, every part of the world. This platform is a platform to impact. So, we don't want to continue this thing like, okay, management's fault, Hododui's fault. No, we are here now. We found a resolution, and anybody that your interest is on the show and you want to support, please, by all means, you say, so maybe this has brought the attention to people to okay, listen, this show is very important. Mm-hmm. It's the essence to something here. So now, our $10, our $5, or what, any Green Save. We just did a jingle for Green Safe in Ewe, right? Yeah. This is to tell you that if you specifically, that and that is available. Mm-hmm. I want to sponsor Hododui, and I want my advert to only play in Hododui. That's fine. That's not discriminating. That's not whatever. That's fine. We have that arrangement here. But if you want to support the entire station that can, cater for the entire shows here, that's also available. Mm-hmm. So that your ad can be played during the rotation, the 24 hours rotation of the station. And I really applaud the Hododui show for coming out and accepting their part of, they have to speak to their will. And accepting their part of the whole thing, and we accepting. The reason why we came on today is we want to clarify the air that most of the things that were said were not accurate, and we're not holding anybody to it or anything like that. We just wanted to get to the bottom of it and have a resolution, a positive one at that, and then continue this great show and continue this great station for our community. But by the way, mind you, some of the shows, some of the stations are controlled and operated by the man. So they have funds, they have ways and means. This is just us, by us, for us. And if all of you out there that have great skill sets, great intuitions, great resources, great connections, great networks, by all means, reach out to us. Maybe you have ways and means that you can help us to create sponsorship package and have our package be very appealing to people that will invest in not just the station, but even in Hododui. Hododui is getting ready for Siena, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're getting ready for Siena. So now let's do you ready to do the Bawawa? Mauzi?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, when you come back, you have them. So what's the Bawawa song?
It did it.
Did they?
Yeah, it be.
Hey, today you guys could teach me a small. Teach me something, make I say something. But you talk, make I get the song ready. Me I feel back. Can you say something before? Let me get the song ready and we'll talk a little bit.
Miapa amaga la fia ha over kpoba au ale amon lon show ya. Doko nyoba once in a while miakata mia samia no nyo goma nyoba ojola mia doma amagbato ko minya mi agojaga mia no nyoji gaka ale mia ten ako
ahenyo de go
ako kaka mia no nyo and move on yenya ngike hia de ka wowo ngogba yiyi ye preach mi lele ye koji mi lele WGAC ale ogble na onu goma masama servia ko eva mi adoma ga ka mi ha ale mi no ale show avivi na mi ale mi wo won na mi anwa mi ba awo mi afa nu kpola nyasela ya wa malaba mi aga a disappoint ngba mama gba mi dojuku ale mi we ha anyo gaka manyo ta gaka ale over yi hafia mi ba mi adakpa na mi akata ka support mi da kuku na mi lafo na mi mi ga throw magba na mi anwo mi gbona boduga na mi fia na mi akofa ji na mi anya da gala mi ashia nya boys o nya boys o
that love say nya na ja fonfo nya the viola forma la ba nya kamachio mi a kamachio mi nyo fia so that's why mi la mi anko san le WGC se ba aleka de love glena no more na joa nu gɔme mase vi aɖe ko nyi vɔa ke ena be yi ke míantɔ mi va trɔ dogo ye mía hã míantɔ mi nɔ anyi ye mi bu tame tso nanu ŋutia ena be mi trɔ wɔ nɔ trɔ wɔ ye wa hã wo me de megbe le mía ŋuti woyɔ mi wo ɖe kuku ne mi ta kuku ye wo ɖe ne mía mía hã mi ɖe kuku ne wo tso ma dzia ena be mi se mía ɖokuiwo gɔme menɔ nya aɖe gblɔm menɔ ʋegbe aɖe dom be nɔ aƒe ne nyu ye koe nye fafa kponogo tsa nɔna kponogo gbɔ kponogo tsa nɔna kponogo gbɔ ye wosɔ tuna aƒeli ke tari nu yɔ keke ne dzɔa ehiã be wòadzɔ ga ɖo mo ne agbetɔ ne se wo ɖokuiwo gɔme vɔa ke menye be edzi ve ame ta koɖikoɖi ta o nɔvi nya ɖo afɔ dzi nye mete tsɔ ge eke go ana be tɔtrɔ matrɔ ana be ngɔme masemase ma va wɔ dɔ vɔa ke míawo ya eya wòdzɔ nenema mi yɔ mía ɖokuiwo hamemegãwo yɔ mi ye mía hã mi yɔ mía ɖokuiwo ko mi ƒoƒo ne mía ɖokuiwo mi se ngɔme ne mía ɖokuiwo na be Hododui shoa megblɔ na be nitsɔ bena ɖi eva edza va li ke me ɖe wòva gbɔnɔ dzodzo go ta ne zu míawo ya mi da wɔna ɖewo le egbea yi ke be ne tsɔ me ye míawo ya mi hã mi gava tɔgbe kpɔ nyavi me kpɔ le asi nye vɔa ke me gbɔnɔ edzi gbe alo ye ntsa vi nyewo va gblɔ bena ɖi papa eya ke le ɖekadze ma ɖe ŋke le maba eya mawu wɔ ntsa me va do le Amerika ntsa me va do le radio station aɖe woyɔna be WGAC ta ne zu be vi nya aɖe hã se nyama anye dzidzɔ ne tsa be itɔ tsa le dɔ le radio station kpɔ leke numɔ keke yayra ko nyi ta ne zu be mía he dzia ekuku ko ɖe mi le ne mi be ta be aleke mi bi dzi ye enu mete va yi nenemɔa ke miatsɔe ke mi le tɔgo me le nɔgo me ne ɖeka wɔ ne nɔ mía dome ye mi kpe ɖe mía ŋuti wobe nane dzɔna hafi nane hã dzɔna ta eya ke ya dzɔa eʋu ŋku ne mia me ɖewo eye wòʋu to ne mia me ɖewo hã ta mi kpe ɖe mía ŋuti ne donation le vava ma sa aleke wogblɔ mi se nea ne zu be mi be yewoakɔ donation to Hododui show ko dzia platform le gama mi be yeatsɔ miakɔ mía business over ne míawɔe yi keke be gaƒoƒo blavevɔ ene megbe ɖe sia ɖea mi kɔe va WGAC orga ko miabe programa hã la nɔ background anɔ yi anɔ gbɔgbɔm ye ne Hododui show tsa va hã miaɖe gbeƒã mia ŋuti ye ne zu be wɔna kpɔtɔewo tsa va woaɖe gbeƒã le mia ŋuti ye wɔnawo la nɔ dzi le nyateƒe toto kple lɔlɔ kple kakaɖedzi me mawo ne yra mi tɔgbe Hododui nya ke le wɔ asi wɔ
míatɔ nyasela kple nukpɔla katã míeda akpe ne mi katã be mi katã mi gaƒoƒu ɖe afi ya ko mi le mía ŋuti biabia nya katã mi katã mi gblɔ fi agbe alo míabe general manager kpakple CEO gblɔa to communication goma wo biabia ɖeka ame geɖe biabiam alo nyamekpe nye be communication va nyuie be marke me le afi ŋke na nyame va le vɔ le tutu menya marke me le afi vɔ nye gashia game ne mie va ame aɖe nɔna afi godo gake gbe ma gbe yo be yo mete vava ge oa nu na nyame va afi nye be menya be godogodo anu me va afi me gbɔna godo ge ma ɖe ne ma ɖe ke melio ne ɔno bɔda dzi na miɔ nye ŋutɔ magafɔ to nuwo to ma kpɔ be mawoe nɔ nyo hã ita ko nyame ita magblɔ ko be ita ko me encourage ɖokuinye encourage nɔvinyo hã be mi va ko togbɔ be ma ɖeke melio hã mi va ko ye menye nyame ke ne va le ʋɔtrɔ megbe ya me va SB Don hã yi hã va gake ya le anyigba davi ma woshi hã no mɔ dzi gbɔna afi mi katã mi va ƒo nu be mi ɖe nyafuma mi ava le nyafuma ta magblɔ ko be nyafi ya va ne me le aƒe ma bɔbɔ nya mete ɖu ne me va afi afi me ɖu nɛ agbadza hã ne me va afi afi me hã ɖu nɛ because aƒe ma nye ɖeka koe li mano nanɔm gaka me vivi ga be ne me va afi alo mi va ƒoƒoƒu ɖe afi no ta ne mi katã mi ƒoƒoƒu ɖe afi hã ne mi va afi hã ƒoƒoƒu ɖe afi mi gblɔ ne gasia game be dzidzɔ blibo aɖe wònye ne mi va afi hã va ƒoƒoƒu ɖe afi mi ŋlɔ na miabe kuxiwo katã be numate mi encourage mia ɖokuiwo togbɔ be communication me va yi tututu hã mi va be mesiame nanya be mi dzagbagba ta mi ɖe kuku be miela fona mi kata ba mia acho kami anya yo mi gblonyo ha mi de kuku ba mia mi fajinami ba mia akwa ka kamilo ba gam de damta mi de kuku mia adu bobo davi ma shi ya ba mi na manfu makma
onu fom too much bobo viada mi adu ko you ko nu fom ta micho Noviwo, lonlotowo, hotulao, hotowo, afotowo, afojikpolao, migadujena akona vemio. Enyanguia, eto jankbloku nye. Enya made shikabe ya floho, alo ya haya hoa. Enya made shikabe ya dega, ohotutu, bla afojikpokpo ma. Alo ameshikaba ya gbugboye fafa atua. Afa alo ohotu nyaka wefu dam ye hala chi akota nao. Na devovo gado kwi ble avinya noviwo. Tutu miafa dachiwo. Elabana Green Safe Real Estate and Consult. Wawenya do wofa gbanto shika akpo miafa fa blo honya wobo le to fafa me. Don kujiba wo dowo blo wo shi chachawo. Woyi akpada achonvio kple asrafo ŋu la fe. Eyata miko miafo mofo ŋu mia yo number 773-403-5073 alo 312-4771-766. Hododui namilo. Hododui onamilo. Noviwo, lonlotowo, hotulao, hotowo, afotowo, afojikpolao, migadujena akona vemio. Enyangwia, eto jankplo kunya. Enya made shikabe ya floho, alo ya haya hoa. Enya made shikabe ya dega ohotutu, ble afojikpokpo ma. Alo ameshikaba ya gbugboye fafa atua. Afa alo ohotunya kawe fudam ye hala chi akota nao. Na devovo gado kui ble avinya. Noviwo. Tutu miafa dachiwo. Elabana Green Safe Real Estate and Consult. Wawenya do wofa gbanto shika akpo miafa fa blo honya wobo le to fafa me. Don kujiba wo dowo blo wo shi chachawo. Woyi akpada chonvio kple asrafo ŋu la fe. Eyata miko miafo mofo ŋu mia yo number 773-403-5073 alo 312-4771-766. Eye mia biaba leke mia tiakpada mia ŋu kple miafo xɔnyawo. Nyasela kple nukpɔlawo. Ne mie yɔ hã, mia bia nutso alesi mia du America dollar alofa ɖeka ƒe nunana kple LED akaɖi le kpakpa me. Miafɔ dɔ wɔ le Chicago, Illinois, USA. Gake ne abe miedzi be yewoagafla anyigba alo yewoadega exɔ gbogbo tutu me la ƒe hã. Nɔvi mi wo dɔ kple asitsala adodoawoe. Kanye Green Safe Real Estate and Consult. Bena miafɔ xɔnya wonyawo magava adefu. Nyaselawo baba magblɔ na mi gba be ɖe migatuwo na eya na lɔ eye migawo dɔ na eha na duo. Eya ta mi yo Green Safe Real Estate and Consult le 773-403-5073 alo 312-477-1766. Akpanamilo. Nyasela kple nukpɔlawo mi be miada akpe ne mia katã ke eva no shoa dzi kpli mi. Mekpɔ be amewo share page amewo le mia ŋu still. Ame ɖeka kɔ yi abe 40 va kpɔ mi at one time. That is very encouraging. Nyasela kple nukpɔla abe ale me nya na show ya miawo time mi wɔm lo. Gake gbefa ɖeɖa ɖo le mia shi fi mia ako show akova enu wuƒe. Me have WGAC me have a program lineup incho mi wo Kakun mi va live le Kakun aji over for tournament le me have a package afia vivin ton dignitaries over fima mayor ble alderman o kata over fima over no mia doma okpoba our Africans you aminya gbadudu nto gaka na aba le mi kwa le mi agbaduma na aba eva le duame September 9th ye mi meliji noga le toji mi fa mi afa yacht party mi African wear kle Caribbean wear odoga gbamagbe ta na mi ba yo fle ticket mi ate ayom mi la fi alo mi ayom na mi ado mi afa address so da mi ko mado ticket ada mi $50 nya ticket adeka gaka na mi ate ayom afi September 9th madaji na mi maybe $5 ada na tenyom onu joji na ko maji daga no $5 gaka na mi ba yo ba ha ava fle ticket le monu ha ke $55 nyasela kplo nukpola mi melia hohoga le porter at 5 o'clock ta na gaton ta na va do fima 5:05 maglom na mi nya ma fima no kwa na shivu na mi baba bai October 6th ha yenya Night of Legend gbamagba mi jajagado fine dinner wear adodio mi doga fine mi aba have a beautiful dinner ye gbamagba WGAC award naga ameyo le stationary ko stationary ko ngogbe yi me kata mi ogbona pe daga na mi akata afi December 24th ha yenya high life dance night ta na mi la Chicago fi amada kuku mi join mi adu agbalo ye maka ha anya kegali
mi anovi Rita Samako gashaga manona mi anchi kpona mi afu forward tromagba nana mai o chonwo na jivagala Chicago afia la 10205 South King Drive, Chicago, afia goji cho zanga sheke vada shina fonui gaton. Mia aninoga awo kuwana la Chicago afia shikanya mamlidagba jinu anyiliaba nkaka ashik nkaka wire keliagba. No ovo o igave diamanubel Ghana. Shikanya August 28, Bakla 29th, yo kuwana wagala Ghana. To hamagbon Ghana Fest hagbona. Ghana Fest anya
this weekend yenya Ghana Fest.
28
August. This weekend yenya 28 July. July 28th yenya Ghana Fest. Cho indima gawo kwa yida fiema gawo. Ticket anya $10. Miatia yi fika otiakpo Eventbrite Hello Eventbrite ja. Okay otia Eventbrite ji but this time Bisa Kede Afia Vaga Daughters of Glorious Jesus Afi Jombi Divashe Wokata Wola o stage ajinoga entertain me nyasala kla nukola $10 mi va mi ava join mi apa Ghana Fest and avak bomi na mi agbalo
Washington Park
nyasala mi yom ya platikita cho gawo ko ida intima ko ida gawo FEM July 28 nyasala kla nukola mi va Ghana Fest mi afima noga Hododui show mi noga live cho afimata mi no klalo ami omote baba go mi no klalo Chicago Alive me worship and praise come and experience a worship and praise encounter about 2018 Chicago Alive mawunya glola kula mawu hajila okata wo fia noga aba ni ado ya ose owusu Abiola George Joe kula Joseph Amate Fio group performances by Ascend kula hoster is going to be New Era Worship Crew. Nyasala kula nukwala emiva mi worship and praise monoga afima noga live. Nama no mi akpom. Nyasala kula nukwala na mi boy your donator. Madakuku abale sister Helen Kwedara mojiena mi WGACFM.org. Mi attend donate as little as $1. Mi akokpara mi anwa abale mi sigba na. The shadows the shadow minamia mia dak banami and mia for donations so kata on your tax deductible nyasela klo nukpola abale mienya na gama devona miako wona cover onu wupe SB no marakuku 5 seconds ko lo marakuku nyada galashiwo
oh sale ke mianto minyane enya la sinvo enya mala sinyo akpa ko madana miano miada miafo miano vio bana wa ha ko magina mi bana nde share yi nwia amayo kama sangomo kula amayo kana yomi yo ga fiami afodofia ma na yira mi pete nya do agbe Hododui show eva java chieta mi kpere mi anchi na mi donation of ma Hododui show cha la likalo ma na yira mi nyaba lon to kele mi akpon tata fi Priska tata Chantal Abigail manyama mi akpon ta ma na yira mi petelo
nana makenya hamako nyakpadada na ameyokana gava join na mila moji amaba Ransford Jisama Blavia Maglo Jennifer Saku Misana Zorobabel Emafa Odro Kafu Yachoma Don Kabi Chef Tetevi Justin Afodo Ilda Grohovic Johnny Woods Cosby Michael Apostle Alex Salom Benjamin Menu Bakla Mauli Kujau Bla ameo katana pukanami ha koba bakla contribution katana koba para mianchi ya mi dak bana mi katan lo
Miato evawo micho. Deka wawa kplengo yiya ifa vaejo. Denyigba fe ngo yiya ekami. Ame bubu aɖeke mewɔ na mi o. Mia ŋutɔwoe alidzi blage. Elabe ame ŋutɔ yɔ ifa akplekɔe be akplekɔ. Eye koklo hã mekpa nu na koklo. Dumevi nyenye yi ko nye enu veviwo mo xɔna lãmesi o. Etodolawo kple nyaselawo. Na koklo ko atɔ tsɔ ndi de. Mianya be enyemawo shi love. Tɔgbi Hododui kple SB Dom miawe akpedam na mi lo. Mi dɔgbe. Hododui na mi lo.
Aho. Vɔna mere nya tɔgbe akplɔmadame nɔmba ne dzagba na okerenti ne ogblɔ ne be SB Dom kple Hododui sɔ kele tabia lo. Mawo ne yra mi.
Mijole lavanyo, tromba diabetika, fifia mia yi kunyowa. Kunyowu, mijole lavanyo, tromba diabetika, fifia mia yi kunyowuma. Kunyowu, mijole lavanyo, tromba diabetika, fifia mia yi kunyowa. Kunyowu, mijole lavanyo, tromba diabetika, fifia mia yi kunyowa. De l'est à l'ouest, du nord au sud, nous sommes les enfants d'une même nation. Quelle que soit ton appartenance politique, ne pense jamais à la division. Méfions-nous de ces politiciens qui font la pluie et le beau temps et qui ont pour ambition personnelle de nous diviser et régner. Mijole lavanyo, tromba diabetika, fifia mia yi kunyowa. Kunyowu, mijole lavanyo, tromba diabetika, fifia mia yi kunyowuma. Kunyowu, mijole lavanyo, tromba diabetika, fifia mia yi kunyowa. Kunyowu, mijole lavanyo, tromba diabetika, fifia mia yi kunyowuma. Kunyowu. Man who's il y a des gens qui nous ont trompés, qui ne seront jamais corrompus, mais simplement une enveloppe de blé les ont fait changer de camp. Je dis, il y a des gens qui nous ont trompés, qui ne seront jamais corrompus, mais simplement une enveloppe de blé les ont fait changer de camp. Midole lavanyo, trova diabetika, fifia mia yi kunyowa, novi kunyowu. Midole lavanyo, trova diabetika, fifia mia yi kunyowuma. Kunyowu, midole lavanyo, trova diabetika, fifia mia yi kunyowa. Kunyowu, midole lavanyo, trova diabetika, fifia mia yi kunyowuma. Kunyowu, Levi. Tous ceux qui ont perdu l'espoir dans ces luttes pour la liberté n'ont qu'à savoir que la nuit est très longue, mais Tchoko Tchoko le coq chantera.